Joe. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. And can you share with us how excited you are about getting the season going?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to get things going a little sooner than normal. I think everyone at some point in spring, you start to get a little impatient with the day-to-day routine and start looking forward to playing some games that count. So it feels good to be back at it. It's been a while for me ending the season on the IL and, missing the last month and a half of the season. I've a little further removed than normal, so I'm itching to get back at it.
Can you share with us the experience that you've had here in Korea and anything that you're doing differently to prepare for this venue that you haven't pitched in before?
Yeah, it's been awesome, every part of it. The people have been extremely friendly. The accommodations have been great. The hotel's awesome. The field's beautiful. Had a really good time watching some of the KBO guys play and the Korean team. Was impressed with some of the pitching that they had. But overall, it's been a really good experience. We've loved the food. It's been, really, really good trip overall. As far as preparation, it's a lot of things that are different. Obviously, we're playing at a completely different time than we're used to. I mentioned it before, but the eating schedule has been a little bit difficult, kind of adjusting to getting your body to eat at times of the day that you're typically sleeping. All that stuff's been new, but we planned for it. They did a really good job of prepping us and giving us, the best possible, thoughts on how to handle that stuff best. So kind of been taking everything on the fly. I feel like at this point we've been here long enough to feel like I'm pretty adjusted and feeling awake and lively when I get to the park, so I feel good.
Go to Kevin on your right here, Joe.
Joe, you would just speak to the gifts that Ha-Sung gave everybody, just kind of the gesture that was.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken really good care of us here. Him and his translators have both hooked us up with, recommendations of places to check out, things that are, specific to their culture and what they do here, cool spots to go, help us out with reservations, and then the gifts as well, very unique things that you can obviously only get in one spot. So very cool, but I know he's very excited to be home. It's probably been a lot for him to come back and, take on that role and be going through what he's going through over the last week, getting to play in his hometown. But we're very grateful, and we've loved having him. I know he's really loved here, very similar to how he is in San Diego.
Your season last year, you hadn't had a season like that as a starter where
Yeah.
it just didn't go as well as the others had. And then this short spring, and you're kind of working on some new stuff. Just take us through the spring and just how you're feeling now with all your pitches.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the injuries last year, I felt like I was throwing the ball really well, arguably on track for one of my better seasons. But, the injuries are, part of the biggest battle in baseball is just being healthy enough to be on the field and to be able to compete. So, took a deeper look. I know some of those things that I dealt with were, just kind of freak accidents. Breaking the toe really set me back in spring, and then trying to speed the process up to getting back and being healthy. Might have rushed through the process of building up how I typically would. But I felt good, up until that point of being shut down, and in the off season made some adjustments to, delivery stuff and mechanics. And coming into spring, like I said, being removed from the competition for as long as I was, I felt a little bit out of whack, as far as timing and, just comfortability of being in the scenario of competition and, getting back used to the game clock and, holding runners, all the little things that you experience every year in spring. And for me, as long as I've been doing it, I still go through the same things every year, the same feelings of a little bit of anxiousness and a little bit jumpy in my first outing or two. But I finished up really strong. I felt good, like I was starting to hit that stride and starting to feel a little more comfortable in the atmosphere of a game. And I feel like I'm at the peak right now of where I felt throughout the spring training process. So I feel ready to go.
Good. Okay. Other questions for Joe? What else do we have? Anything else? Kevin?
Keep it
All
coming.
right. Hey. I know you have one start before it, but what is it going to be like to pitch? And then, how do you anticipate staying ready? And, this is kind of a weird start to the season.
Yeah. Throwing the last day before we got on the plane, I think the biggest concern is just recovery. You throw and then you get on a plane and don't move or don't do anything physical for, 13, 14 hours. And then you come here where you're on a completely different time schedule. And like I said, you're doing things at times of the day where you're typically sleeping or not, being as active. So I was a little concerned with that, but surprisingly felt pretty good when I got here. I had a little bit of that, lag where the body felt heavy and I felt a little bit slow, but having the extra time between starts allows me to go out and get, some really good work in, get some hard lifts in, throw some really quality bullpens with some intensity, and have the, the benefit of having a couple extra days on the back end. So just really try to take advantage of that, not overdo things, but, take a good bullpen session to work on some things that I feel like I needed to sharpen up. And this week I was able to have two bullpen sessions and had a really, really good one yesterday. Felt really good about where I'm at going into the start.
Anything else for Joe? We'll go to Bryce.
Hey, Joe, on a trip like this, how do you balance it's a business trip versus you also don't want to look back in 10 years and feel like you didn't experience something really unique here? How do you kind of balance both those pieces? I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah, I mean, I just being professional, man. When I'm at the park, and I put everything into it when I'm here. And I think the ability to go out and have some fun away from the field and enjoy your time away with your girlfriend or your wife or your friends that are in town, I think you have to be putting in quality work on a daily basis so that you can feel confident and comfortable giving yourself that time to go out and do things. If you're puttering around at the field and you're not getting quality work in, it's a little harder to take those days off and take that time away from the field to go enjoy some of it. So I work extremely hard. I'm very confident in, the preparation that I put in. So that kind of allows me to feel okay and comfortable with myself going out and doing some of those things. And like you said, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Obviously, I could come back here, but to get a paid trip to Korea to come out here, get to play some baseball and see a part of the world that I've never been to, I'm going to take advantage of it.